Hi, Original Soul. Welcome in to this reading around the Pisces full moon lunar eclipse. When I'm recording it, it's happening tomorrow. So we'll see what messages want to come out related to this energy. Difficult shuffle right away. How are you feeling? I hope you're doing well. I'm feeling a little hermity myself. It's always good to take a little bit of downtime, hunker in, and reset a little bit. All right, let's see what we get out of Moonology to kick it off here. And thanks for being here. All right, let's see what wants to come out of Moonology, and then we'll see where we go from there. We'll do one more shuffle. All right, cutting the deck with adjustments are required. And at the bottom, what do you need to release? Interestingly enough, well, interesting to me, on the new moons, I usually pull out of this kind of moon phase, moon mantra deck. And I was moving sort of this shelf that I have, and one of the cards was just sitting on there. I didn't realize it had been there, so it hasn't been in the deck for I don't know how long. But that was, I let go of what is no longer serving me, and I am open to what is. So, see if that's related to any of this with that release energy at the bottom of the deck. Wow. I don't know why I had a feeling this might happen today. Full Moon in Pisces card came out. Balance, spirituality, and practicality. So there we go. Full Moon in Pisces energy, super strong. Wow, I'm a little bit speechless. Okay. Let's add a few out of this earthly oracle deck. All right, so balancing spirituality and practicality, which, you know, we're in Virgo season right now, which can very much be about being practical. I've been like more focused than normal or usual for myself, not necessarily normal for everyone, but normal for me, on my house and organization and sort of planning some things out and trying to be a little bit more practical. Where normally I just sort of like to be off, you know, kind of in more of those spiritual spaces, just learning about different things, different topics, you know, meditating. And just doing what I feel like doing, which is not always practical. All right, let's see what we get out of this deck here. There's some additional energy. I think we got two there. Manifest and mindful. Both of these have full moons on the images that you can see right there. So being mindful with your thoughts and with your actions. You know, we're always manifesting things. It's not really something that you have to learn how to do, but it might be something that you have to learn how to do well or in the way that you want, right? If you're getting a lot of negative experiences or kind of repeating patterns or circumstances coming your way, right? We're magnetizing everything towards us all the time. So being more mindful with your thoughts, with your actions, the way you speak to yourself, the way you speak to other people, the energy and frequency that you set out there. So definitely kind of cleaning that up a little bit. Yeah. Also really feeling like right now there is a portal, just noticing on this mindful card kind of how she's standing between those two trees. They're reaching out towards that moon. So yeah, maybe setting out some new intentions or walking down a new path. Working to release some of those potentially negative, thoughts, experiences, emotions. And maybe walking towards a path of more positivity, which is not always easy to do. Sometimes you have to, encourage yourself to think that way or be that way, or stop yourself when you realize you might be getting down a more negative loop or spiral. All right, let's add some tarot to it. We'll pull a couple cards here and see what else wants to come out. Let's see, we got fish, koi fish, and black cats so far. Also picking up on kind of all these red and orange leaves on these trees, very autumn vibes. Even though where I am at, it's still technically summer, it's absolutely feeling like fall. So I got all the blankets and the comfy stuff out. All right, let's see here. Let's get some tarot with it, see what cards want to come out, what other energy might be around. Got some ringing going on in my right ear. Any messages for higher guidance, highest path? All right, check out what these two are. Ooh, Four of Wands and the Star. These are both really beautiful, positive cards. All right, so with manifestation and the Four of Wands, this looks like an awesome celebration. So maybe there is some sort of portal or new path that you're walking down or going through that has you feeling really uplifted, like we were just talking about too, with kind of flipping the script and changing up potentially the way you speak to yourself, if that is something that's been a challenge for you and you tend to be more in the negative. And this is really kind of seeing the positive results of that sort of shift. So something coming in that again has you celebrating, has you excited. Right? There's sort of all this confetti floating on. And I like how in both of these images too, you can see here, I don't know if those are ribbons or it's just kind of this magic energy from their excitement, their exuberance. And also we've got that similar thing coming out of her hand in the Star card. So with mindful, the Star can be about healing. I'm also noticing there is a black cat and a fish in this card as well. So that's what I called out for possible signs or synchronicities. So that's really coming out strong in these different decks. But yeah, with mindful and the Star, like I was saying, the Star is about healing. Star is about, finding compassion, exuding that sort of love frequency, bringing in compassion for yourself and others. So really just reiterating what I was already saying about sort of cleaning up any of that lower frequency or lower vibration behavior, and definitely bringing in more healing and more of your own natural power. You may be into energy healing as well. Maybe something that you use your hands for, whether that's Reiki, or maybe you do massage therapy or something like that. I'm also picking up Tai Chi, so that might be something that you're into. So yeah, it seems like a pretty solid, straightforward message here. Keeping your frequency high, right? Focusing on love and compassion to bring in healing, not only for yourself, but for others, and also possibly for the earth or your environment. So maybe cleaning things up in that respect as well. All right, let's get a card out of this angel deck. Yeah, I was just noticing the Two of Pentacles here was at the bottom of the deck, which is about choices. We've got another black cat there jumping on what looks like a teeter-totter. I was just teaching a yoga class yesterday, and I mentioned kind of being like a teeter-totter, and then I was wondering, are there teeter-totters anymore at playgrounds? I'm trying to think if those like exist anymore. I feel like someone always got hurt on those. Right? And on this one too, in the mindful card, she's holding the broom. Right? So really cleaning things up, being prepared, maybe to kind of roll up your sleeves and do a little bit of that work, a little bit of that effort. And here, right, that broom is set down, and now it's time to make better choices. Something that's more long-lasting and that, again, really helps you down this new path where you're really up-leveling your energy, you're up-leveling what's coming towards you, kind of that strength of your magnet and what you're magnetizing in. Again, all by tapping into the frequency of love. Okay. Let's see here. We'll get one to close it out of this angel deck. What's this one called? Angel Guide Oracle. Let's see what we get here. Got compassion at the bottom of the deck, which I've mentioned a couple times. Transformation. Absolutely. That's what this full moon energy is really calling for. Everything we've just been saying, right? Finding more balance, being practical where you need to and where it makes sense, and kind of finding practical applications for your spirituality or for your practices, right? It's not always about just being off in meditation and sort of more in those ethereal spaces, but how can you bring those practices into your everyday life, kind of practicing what you preach, or again, when things are a little bit harder, it takes a little bit of effort, not again going down that negative loop, but transforming your mindset, transforming your energy, all with love, all with compassion, and also with excitement and fun. Those are important as well. But that's where transformation will happen, right? That's where you'll notice the shift. You'll see your outer world starting to match the change in your inner world. All right, so that is the energy that this full moon is bringing. Full moon in Pisces, transformation, love, and compassion. All right, so that is the message that we've got here with this reading. I hope there's something here for you. And until next time, peace.